Assuming that your stroke is straight and you have a good break, if you watch this video and you really take it to heart and do what I'm suggesting that you do, you will break through all the barriers and you will become a world-class 8-ball player. Right after the break and before you shoot your first shot, there's 5 things you should be doing. Most amateurs only do 1 or 2 things, and the best players in the world do all 5 things. Here's what they are. Number 1 is to find all the problems and potential problems. Either ball you take, what are the problems on this table? And by problems, I mean anything that would stop a clear runout or make any runout difficult. And here we see that the 1 and the 13 are clustered. Both balls are makeable in the bottom right hand corner pocket, but the 1 ball is a little bit easier because it's closer to the pocket. So that makes me lean toward solid balls, but we're not done looking at this table and finding any more potential problems. And both set of balls have little minor problems. The only major problem is this cluster with the 1 and the 13. And because the 1 is a little bit easier, I'm going to take the solids here. The problem with the 1 is I have to get as straight as I can on the 1 in order to implement the plan I want to do on this runout. So going through the process of finding the problems should lead you into the answer on step number 2, and what set of balls do you want to take. And step number 3 is to take a look at the 8-ball and decide what pocket you want to shoot that 8-ball in. Determining where you're going to shoot that 8-ball should help you find the answer on step number 4. And step 4 would be finding the key ball and what pocket you want to shoot it. And the key ball means the last ball before the 8 or the ball that you're using to get on the 8. And in this case, I'm using the 5 ball because of where the 6 is. And that 6 will help me get on the 5 ball, which will help me get on the 8 ball. That will make more sense as you actually see the runout. And the numbers that you see on your screen here, number 7 and number 8, that's the 7th shot and that's your 8th shot. Now, in those last 2 steps, the most important thing you can do is picture yourself doing it, making the key ball and making the 8-ball. And some guys actually get down on those shots and act like there's a cue ball in the position they want to be in, and they go through the motions with making those 2 balls. What that does is implant that picture into your subconscious mind as if you've already done it and you've already won this game. Now we're waiting on your slow-ass body to catch up and just do it. And step number 5 would be to plan the rest of the rack from the first shot to the second, to the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth, and that should leave you on the 7 to get to the 8. And the beauty of this for any 9-ball player who does not have a choice in what balls to shoot first, second, third, fourth, and all the rest of them, is now you have a choice. You can make your 1 ball this 7 ball, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And you can make that 4 ball your second shot, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And that's because I want to get on this 2 ball in order to get to this side of the 3 ball to push up for that treble ball, that 1 ball I have to get straight in on it in order to just roll up a couple inches, shoot the 6 ball in the side pocket, be right on the 5 ball, which is the key ball, to get on the 8 ball and win. And some guys will point out and say, well, it's all been a waste of time if I screw something up because I'm going to have to replan the whole thing. And they act as if this is a whole lot of work when it's not. It can happen in the blink of an eye. And the more you work on it, the faster you will get. And so it's no big deal. You just replan the rest of the runout. And usually the 8th shot and the 7th shot, which is the key ball and the 8 ball, will stay the same. Sometimes it will change. Let's take an example on the 1 ball. Do you remember we need to be straight in on the 1 in order to get to the 6 ball, in order to get to the key ball? Well, let's say we get to the right side of the line. And now you can't just roll up a couple inches and get on the 6. So instead of rolling up a couple inches on the 1 ball, let's stun the cue ball out. We're on the right side. And we can stun it out for the 5 ball and make the 6 ball the key ball to get on the 8. And while that sounds like a lot of work and a lot of thinking, it's really, really, truly not that much. And the most important thing you're doing is teaching your brain how to think like a champion. And if you can't see yourself doing it, then you're not going to do it. So if you bring up a rack that has a lot of cluttered balls and a lot of potential problems and you have to break balls out, you should still plan it. You should still think about where that cue ball's going after the breakout. And if your plan gets screwed up, then you replan it and replan it again if it gets screwed up again. And again, the most important thing you're doing is teaching your brain how to win. Usually I'll start out my first shot on the top side of the table, the upper part of the table, and clear those 3 balls out first. And then come down to the bottom side of the table and clear all those balls out and finish on the downside, because that's usually where the 8 ball is. But there's no rule book saying you have to do it. The reason I shot the 7 first is so I could get in line with that 4 ball, and it's all about getting on the right side of this 3 ball so I can just roll up and do my best to get straight in on the 1 ball.
Just pick the pace up a little. Yeah. Stop hitting those little girly softballs.
And that's the key shot right there. And I did get straight in on the 1, so now I can just roll up. I can keep my plan and roll up on the 6, shoot the 6, and save the 5 for the key ball to get on the 8.
Wait, amazing.
It's good. Right, let's look at another one. Alright, on this 5-ball shot, I drove back way too far and I got bad on the 2. But the only thing, I rethought the plan, the only thing that's going to change here is I'm shooting the 2 in the top right hand corner instead of the side pocket. And I can get right back in line for the 3-ball. And I couldn't bounce hard off the rail there because I got a little out of line on the 3, so now I can't get right on the key ball, which is the 4-ball. I wanted to get straight in on the 4 so I could just draw back a couple inches to get straight in on the 8. So to avoid traffic and to get right on the 8, or to at least get a shot on the 8, I have to go all the way back up table and take the tough shot on the 8-ball to win this game. And there's one more run out coming up, so stay tuned. YouTube transfers the money that I make off my videos to AdSense on the 20th of every month, and on the 21st or 22nd, AdSense transfers that money to my checking account. of the revenue that just this video makes me, not the revenue that it makes YouTube. 100% of it will be donated to UNICEF, who will use it to help the refugee children of Ukraine. This is not about politics. Please don't leave political comments on this video or any video. This is about us, you and me, doing the very little bit that we can to help the situation in Ukraine. This revenue that I'm speaking of will probably be nickels and dimes, not a lot of money, but it's something. So at the end of this month, at the end of next month, and the end of the month after, I will take screenshots and prove to you of what this video made me. I will also take a video clip of me donating this money to UNICEF. So just by watching this video, you will be doing your part. Please share this with your friends.